this is one of my holdbacks from 2 years ago. This is Bo. He's a male jungle boa, and every year my dad gives us a choice of what we want to hold back, and I chose this one because I really like his pattern, and not to mention this tail. Like, check out this tail right here. It has a really pretty stripe. If I can get him situated. But check out that stripe right there. Really pretty. Okay.
It's got a lot of really pretty jungle patterning down the back as well. This is a beautiful example of what the jungle actually does in a boa constrictor. It breaks up the saddles, it combines them, it creates stripes and all kind of just really cool abnormal patterning. So I think my daughter really likes the jungle gene, and so this was her choice for this year. So he's coming up pretty good, isn't he? Feeding him and taking care of him well.
Yes.
All right. I want to show you another boa here. This is an albino lipstick. This is a boa constrictor that is an albino, and it's called an amelanistic, meaning no melon or no black pigment. As a result, it gives you this really pretty butter yellow with the pattern in kind of an orange. Also, if you'll notice, the eyes here are pink. There's no black pigment even in the eyes. This is a true albino, and this is one that we're holding back for future breeding purposes. Also, you notice towards the tail, the yellows just become more and more intense, as well as the oranges. So very pretty animal. We hope to breed her with some of our snows and highlight a little bit more of these yellow and orange colors here in the future. But this is just one example of a lipstick albino boa constrictor that we'll have available here soon.
She is not coming off the hook right now.
Are you filming?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
You are filming?
She's not coming off.
This is probably the meanest, nastiest female boa that we've held back.
T-Rash.
No, I think this one here's got him beat.
She will definitely test your skills on the hook, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So. Ooh.
Ooh.
Alright, so.
How are you gonna get her back in?
Oh, we get her off the hook.
How are we gonna get her back in the
Let's see
cage?
how many bites it'll take to get her back in the cage.
Oh yeah, let's play a game.
Ooh.
There we go.
Got her.
Alright, hold the hook.
Okay. Here.
Just spin her. Round and round.
All around the hook.
Alrighty. There we
Nice.
go. Look at this tail. Beautiful
Striped.
stripe on
All
the
the way
tail.
down.
Now, the reason I'm holding this one like this, and I'm not squeezing her very hard, this little girl here, she is a biter.
Yeah.
She is probably the most aggressive holdback boa that we kept this year. And as such, we have to control her head when we want to examine her closely. She's growing pretty good. This is an example of one of our salmons, and like we told you before, our salmons don't get very large. I don't want to say that they're a dwarf, but they certainly don't get nowhere near as large as our other boas. All of our salmon line is relatively small, so I'm going to go ahead and put her back up and show you a couple more. One of the tricks that we use as reptile handlers is this little tool right here. Most of you guys know what this is. This is called a snake hook. Some people refer to them as a grab stick. Basically, this is just a tool that allows us to handle animals without causing stress to the animal, as well as causing or allowing ourselves to get bit, especially when you're dealing with more aggressive animals. This is a must-have tool if you're working with venomous species, but even if you're working with non-venomous species like these boa constrictors behind me, this stick comes in very, very handy, because a lot of boas have a strong feeding response. When you open up the cage, they think that food's coming in. Because your hands are warm-blooded, when you go in to pick them up, sometimes you can get tagged on the hand. So what we like to do is open the cage up and just rub the snake a little bit with the hook. Now, this lets them know, and it gets them used to the fact that, hey, you're not fixing to be fed, you're actually fixing to be handled. And then we'll go in with the hook and we'll take the animal out. Now, we do that on snakes like this because this boa here is known to be somewhat aggressive, and the hook enables us to handle it without any bloodshed. But this is actually one of our striped boas, and we're raising up to breed. Now, in the video you saw last year, this was just a young baby boa. Obviously, you can tell that she has been eating well and doing good. Actually, as a matter of fact, this is not the she, this is the male.
Would you like to tell everyone his fabulous name?
Yes, we actually named this boa T-Rash because when he was a lot younger, we were cleaning his cage one day, and he fell off the snake hook and landed in the trash. Well, we were trying to figure out a name for him, so my girl said, well, how about we name him T-Rash because he fell in the T-Rash can. So, but this is an example again of a striped boa constrictor. You notice the striping all the way down the back. Now, this animal here has grown quite a bit over the last year. It's a really good feeder. Like I said, it has a very strong feeding response, which is why I'm handling it on the hook. Now, he is getting better. Used to, you could never put your hands on this animal without getting bit. So he is coming along. He's getting a little bit better, yet I still don't fully trust this animal. And so we try to take the necessary precautions not to take a bite to the face or anything like that. But very pretty animal. Now I want to show you the female that we actually held back to breed this boa with. Let me put him back up. And she has a strong feeding response as well. So we're going to use the hook again to get her out. We'll just give her a little rub on the top of the head with a hook just to let her know, hey, it's not feeding time. It is actually handling time. This is another striped female. Look at the striping going on the tail here. Just a really pretty animal. This is a female, and we actually hope to breed her back to him. Now, we produced these stripes for a couple of years, and these are a couple that we decided we wanted to try and hold back and just see what they would produce in the future. And just really beautiful. Also, these animals have a good possibility of being het for both albino and anery, which would make them double het for snow. So hopefully in a generation or two, we'll be able to produce some albino jungle stripes as well as perhaps even some snows. But this is just one example of what we've got coming up in the future in our boa breeding projects here at Cold Blood Creations. And you guys stay tuned and we'll let you know what the offspring are in a couple of years. Every now and then you have a boa that just has a very unique pattern. And this one right here, we call her Bones. And the reason why is because she has the two bone right here on the back. And we thought that was pretty neat. She is a salmon jungle boa. She has the jungle pattern. She has the salmon color. But we thought this was neat that she had the two little sections on here that look like a pair of bones.
So whenever you use racks like we do, a simple thing to make sure your snakes don't get out are these little clips right here that you can get at Lowe's. And you just clip them on the sides of the cage so that if they go to try to push the cage, they can't because that blocks their way.
It's a 9 out of 10 chance that that would never happen, but just in the case that it did, you don't want this to happen.
Yeah. Hey, did you remember to check on Bones earlier to see if she ate?
No, let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What? She's not in here.
Oh no, somebody forgot to put the clip on.
Well, who would have done that?
Daniel, come here.
Did you forget to put the clip on the box?
Thanks, Daniel. Now we have a snake missing.
You know what? Don't tell Mom.
scared to death.
Well, you sure did scare Mom to death. I know that.
No kidding.
Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed this video, and we appreciate you guys watching. Y'all check out more stuff at www.coldbloodcreations.net.
And if you like our shirts today, be sure to check out soulfrogs.com.
So when you have racks like we do, you want to make sure that your snakes won't get out. And the reason why we get racks actually is because they're a little bit harder for a snake to get out. But just in case if they do, you don't want... Hey, did you remember to check on bones associated?
No.